What works? Evidence notes, domestic abuse and homelessness. The Crime Survey for England and Wales estimated that 4.4% of people aged 16 years and over experienced domestic abuse in the last year. Approximately 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 to 7 men aged 16 years and over have experienced domestic abuse since the age of 16. That's 1 in 5 overall. But how does this relate to homelessness? Our recent evidence note rounded up the key issues related to homelessness, women and domestic abuse. So what is the current picture? Women's homelessness is significantly linked to domestic abuse, with statistics from England, Scotland and Wales indicating that it's a top 3 cause. Between a quarter and a third of women seeking help from their local council to prevent or relieve their homelessness say they have experienced domestic abuse. The stats likely understate the context, as survivors frequently don't report abuse and often experience homelessness in hidden ways. We looked at the most promising interventions and found the following. Critical time interventions in domestic abuse shelter programmes reduce unmet care needs and symptoms of PTSD. Domestic violence housing first improves survivors' housing stability, depression, anxiety and PTSD, and decreases the likelihood of repeated abuse. Routine screening helps identify survivors of domestic abuse, but we need to better understand the links between identification and outcomes. It is not clear if perpetrator-oriented interventions work better or add value over and above survivor-only oriented interventions. And we concluded that gender-blind evaluations of housing services overlook the distinct needs of women facing abuse and homelessness, hindering effective support. Survivors should lead in deciding how financial assistance is used and the level of assistance they require. Combining interventions creates stronger outcomes than standalone efforts. Addressing domestic abuse requires collaborative efforts beyond housing providers. We need more research on the effectiveness of multi-agency approaches, such as multi-agency risk assessment conferences. To read more about our evidence note on domestic abuse and homelessness, or to get a fuller picture, visit our website and look for our publications.